Hi guys, Linux Mint is one of the most popular Linux distributions available at the moment. And I recently switched to Linux Mint 20.2, which is codename Uma. And I'm using the Linux Mint Cinnamon edition. Previously, I was using Ubuntu 20.04.1, and I have also done a desktop tour of that version. And if you're interested in watching that, you can click the link above, which will take you to that video. In this video, I'm going to cover some of the new features that are available and also give you a desktop tour along with some of my favorite apps that I generally use. So let's get into it. One of the major updates in this version is that it uses Cinnamon version 5.0. This version of Cinnamon uses less memory as compared to the previous ones. And it also allows you to set a memory limit. And if it's consuming too much memory, it will restart itself. There are a few new applications bundled into this version. So let's start off with a file rename tool called Bulky. So as the name suggests, Bulky allows you to do bulk file renaming. I could select multiple files at once and do a find and replace across all those files. The next app that I wanted to show you is called Notes, and this is like Post-it notes. You could create multiple Post-it notes, add textual content in them, change their size and color as you wish. The next app that I wanted to show you is called Warpinator, and this app allows you to share files across your network. So I have connected Warpinator to my Android device. So there's an Android version available, and I could select and send files from my Android device back into my Linux Mint, and it presents me with a dialog asking me whether I want to accept it or decline it. So if I say accept, it will transfer the file. And that's what I just transferred from my Android mobile phone. The general look and feel of Cinnamon is pretty standard, with the panel pretty similar to how it is available in the previous version. If I look at the Nemo file manager, it allows me to search for files as well as search for the contents of the files. I can add certain folders as my favorites and also pin them, and this allows me to access my favorites also from the panel at the bottom. There are some really beautiful wallpapers added to this version of Linux Mint, and that has always been the case. It always packs up with some really nice wallpapers. If I go into my system settings, I always love to apply some really dark colored themes. And some of my favorite are the Minty Dark, as well as Adapta Nocto, as well as Sea Black. So currently I'm on Minty Dark, and also my controls and icons and my desktop represents the same. This desktop supports fractional scaling as well, and it really works well for me because I have a 4K Samsung 28-inch monitor and also a standard Full HD AOC monitor. So for my Samsung, I always turn the fractional scaling on and run it at 175%. And this distro is using the Linux kernel version 5.4. Now we'll go ahead and have a look at some of the apps that I use. I'm a real big fan of Visual Studio Code, and I was initially using this for my Flutter development, but I have also recently started using this for my backend Java development. And it really serves its purpose. There's a lot of customizations and extensions available, and it really makes a developer's life really easy. For my screen recording, I'm using a software called OBS Studio, and this is a really feature-rich cross-platform screen recorder. Next up, I have Android Studio, and even though I use VS Code for my Flutter development, I still have Android Studio installed because it allows me to use AVD Manager, which I can use to create new virtual devices, which I can then use to test and run my Flutter applications. I also installed a tool called Azure Data Studio, and this looks very similar to VS Code, and this is provided by Microsoft. It's again a cross-platform application which allows you to browse through your SQL databases. You can browse through your databases and tables and also run queries on them. And this also shows me a set of extensions that are available for installation. So this is really cool. To help me with my development, I'm also using a REST API client called Insomnia. I've also installed another tool called System Load Indicator, and this is a small applet that shows up on the panel. You can customize this to show your system metrics. At the moment, I'm showing my CPU and the memory usage, and I can also go into preferences and enable some other indicators. For using terminal, I have also installed an application called Tailix, and I really like this because it allows you to open multiple panels at once within the same window. To capture screenshots, I'm using an app called KSnip, and it allows me to select as well as take screenshots of the whole screen, and then I can capture and save them as I want. And finally, I'm using Genie as my simple text editor. I've installed the various color schemes, and I selected some of the dark schemes to match my existing desktop setup. All of these themes are available from the Genie Themes GitHub repository. So that's all I had to cover in my desktop tour, and I hope you find this video useful, and thanks a lot for watching.